Hi, welcome back to the farm. So it's autumn jobs at the moment. This is one of the last jobs of the year before this machine goes away. We've got the flail mower out today, and it's going to take off the weeds. We're flailing off the weeds, and it's the last sort of summer job really before we head towards winter time. So flailing the rest of these weeds off and topping the park to hopefully tidy it up and leave it in a good condition for winter. Tell you now, the grass is running out of steam. Certainly over this last week I've really started to notice it early in the mornings. We've got some fresh air weather, it's gone colder, of course the days are getting shorter, and today it has felt fairly cold. We had a low of about 10 Celsius today. In literally the next couple of days it's supposed to go down to 6 Celsius, and of course with the grass growth now slowing down, it means that the cattle on the broads are running out of grass. Luckily it's still fairly wet down there, so the grass is still growing to some extent. But all over the farm at the moment, the sheep are running out of grass, the cattle, the stores, the steers, the heifers, everything is at the moment, and I'm so happy that we managed to make the silage and the hay in the time that we did, and lucky as well that we managed to make enough of it, because before long, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of farmers are going to start feeding silage out like now, literally in the next couple of weeks as well, because the trouble is the grass is just not growing, at least in this part of the world here. I know over in Ireland a lot of farmers have had the opposite, they've had too much rain. Well, in Norfolk we had a lot of rain in June, but now it's just burnt off, everywhere it's just burnt off. Maize yields, debatable. I've seen some maize being harvested up the road and it looks really wilted. Some of it's tallish, but it looks wilted. So although it's a bit of a deceiving year this year with maize, because you look at it and think, yeah, there's a good yield there, but I just think the quality this year will be pretty poor, because it just has not had the rain at the time that it needed it. Now if you're further down southwest in the West Country, yeah, you're probably happy days, you'll get some good maize yields because they've had the rain, but we just have not had the rain in the southeast. Now in a minute we'll go and have a look at the Fodderbeet, which has really had a rough ride this year on the farm with the heat wave and the drought, 30 Celsius weather a couple of weeks ago, which has really taken its toll on the crop. Then there's the deer as well, which have always been a nightmare with that crop, so we'll go and have a look at it, because it's going to be harvested at Christmas, and that will be the lifeline for feeding the cattle over winter, along with the turnips. Alright, as you can see it is now raining, and I was in a business meeting earlier for a new venture. Here's the Fodderbeet, which is still alive. Yeah, a new venture which will be exciting. I'll tell you about it very soon. It involves a machine on the farm which will hopefully future-proof the farm, put it that way. Something to do with farming, but not farming at the same time, so it should be quite exciting, but you'll find out about it probably in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, it's exciting. So anyway, here's the Fodderbeet. We've also as well been moving sheep as well today. We moved some sheep from one ex-silage field, which was harvested earlier in the year. We moved them from one site to another field, which had plenty of grass on it, and they moved really, really well. Didn't even have to use the dogs or anything, just moved really, really easily. So we're up here now to look at this, and this is the Fodderbeet, which has been struggling this year because of the drought. And if you actually look, one set of leaves had died off, and then another set has regrown. They are really, really struggling, and they've been fighting the deer as well, which has been eating the tops off as well. So they've been hammered from all angles this year, these poor Fodderbeet. Once they get that taproot in the ground early in the season, you'll see here, look, they are away. And once they get that, they generally are away. But if they don't get that taproot in early on, it can be trouble. So we should have actually grown this whole field as Fodderbeet. We didn't grow the bottom section because the government wanted to pay for the SFI down there, and Fodderbeet doesn't pay as much per acre, so unfortunately we put some in there. But next year we're actually going to grow more Fodderbeet. So the farm is fighting back against the government's SFI incentive, even though you are paid obviously for the environment now more than farming, which seems just crazy. But yeah, the bulb is up. It will do most of its growing, I reckon, around October, November time, and then it just sort of stalls. So the bulb has still got a good whack of growing to do yet, and it will, as we've just found out, it will get the rain before long. So the rain could potentially save it. So it's not all doom and gloom, but it's just been a really hard summer for them because it's been too hot and dry. So you can see you've got the Polaris, we've got the winch on now, the steel winch, brilliant. Used to have the corded one just with like rope, and it used to break the rope every now and then, but steel, amazing. That's it, our ward, that's who services it and looks after it. Amazing, this one, really, really good. And yeah, I'm trying to keep the farm going, getting some jobs done, but I tell you what, it's been hard these last couple of weeks with the machinery side of things because of the well, no one's got any money at the moment, or so it seems. So I'm hoping things will pick up towards the end of the year. People go out, they spend money at Christmas. You know, it's important for the farm to talk about the economy because, you know, the farm relies on people, you know, with the equine side, you know, spending money on leisure, for example. So it is important, and I think people will spend money at Christmas, but then you always get January, February, like no one's got any money, no one wants to spend any money, and it gets tight. However, it feels like it's been like that for the last year. I don't know if it's just me. Maybe we've bounced back from COVID a bit, but you know, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Government contracts maybe be better for the farm than private people at the moment, private companies. But yeah, I think you've got to be optimistic. I think you've got to look ahead towards the future, be positive. There's lots of cool things happening on the farm at the moment, and I've tried to, you know, over the last 4 or 5 years, come up with some new ideas for the farm, and there's some cool things coming into fruition at the moment. It's just bloody hard getting them to go the way I want them to go, if that makes sense. So I'm hoping, touch wood, things will go the way I want them to go by Christmas. That involves the machinery business, JBR Plant Machinery, the farm with the livestock, the cattle, the sheep, the arable, cereals, the contracting, and then my new venture, which I'm hoping to get going as well, along with the other 2 businesses. So and then social media, which I've always just enjoyed doing anyway. So yeah, you know, you've got to do lots of different things with a farm now. You know, you can't just do farming. You know, you've got to come up with different solutions, because if you don't, you'll get left behind. And when, you know, a tractor costs £250,000 or 150,000 for a new one, I mean, even that case was 112,000. It's a lot of money, you know, a lot of money, and farming isn't going to pay all of it, I'm afraid, these days, unless you're doing, you know, 5, 10, 20,000 acres like Martin Evans over in Shropshire. That big operation, big kit. If you want big kit, you've got to have big farm, simple as. And so yeah, I think things are changing. You know, you've got to go bigger and or diversify, which is what I'm trying to do. We're not the biggest farm in the world, you know, we're only a small farm, and just trying to diversify, come up with some other solutions, diversification, different income streams, all that good stuff, to basically warrant everything and keep the show on the road, basically. So yeah, with that, keep liking and subscribing. I'm going to go and put one of the tractors away now, and then I've got dogs to feed and other sheep to check and animals and just, yeah, loads of stuff. So, yeah, I'm happy about the rain anyway. And we've got one field left of bales. We've got 100 bales left to get in, which I forgot about on top field. So I'm going to get them in as well, probably be tomorrow now. And the battery is due to go back on that other tractor so we can go subsoiling. Although we won't be getting subsoiling when the weather's like this, because it's not ideal. You want it obviously fairly somewhat dry. So yeah, thanks for watching. Keep liking and subscribing, and I'll catch you on the next one. Click here to subscribe to the channel, and click here to watch another Olly's Farm video.